Happening? How's everybody doing? We are live from the knife room. Gonna hang out for a little bit. Busy weekend as always. Got some plans. Gonna be pretty busy tomorrow. There is a knife show tomorrow that I was not aware of because I was not paying attention. I might try to go down to that, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get down there. It's a little Midwest Knife Makers Guild. So it's only going to be custom makers, which is still cool. But there won't be any like big companies like at like Blade Show or anything like that. But it is still fun. We went to the Midwest Knife Makers Guild show last year. It was pretty fun. I actually bought a couple of things. So I might try to get down there tomorrow, but I had some family plans and some stuff going on, so I don't know if I will. What is up, Marco? How are you on this lovely Friday? Any plans? Stuff going on? Exciting things? Etc., etc. Nephew's got some games and stuff tomorrow. I'm going to go hang out with family and do that for a while. But Donnie just got a hold of me, said he found out that the show is tomorrow down on the south side of Minneapolis. And I might try to go to that for a couple hours, but I don't know. If it's the same one that we went to last year, it's one where I met up with Laid Off Pete and Iowa AK and Brian and a couple other people, and we had a good time. Well, no, actually, that was at Badger. Yeah, I'm getting them mixed up. That was at Badger. At the Midwest show last year, I just met Iowa AK and his wife, and the three of us ran around. That's right. I forgot about that. It's been a year. What's going on, Gabe and Matt? How are you guys doing today? What's going on this weekend? I got projects. I'm thinking about doing one now, but I'm not sure what. I want to start doing more projects in the live. You guys see the video from today? This is the Riot GTR. Whoops. Carried a Boogie Spyderco smock in honor of Tri-State's smock collection video. Right on. That smock. It's got the collection. But yeah, this is Kevin Smith and Knives Riot GTR integral. Crazy ass integral right here with this cutout, these cutouts, this one piece. The work that was put in to make that milling happen. Got the zirconium inlay. My fan is not going. It seems kind of hot in here. How's the temperature for you? I'll be right back. Let me check that out. Gotta walk down the hall. Not that bad in here, but it is kind of warming up. It has been cooler at night. In honor of who? In honor of who? What's up, Smoky Poo? Wow. Wow. What's happening? Snail Trail Dale, what is up? It is now officially a party. Make Rangers here. Clint Crosby. Now we're getting somewhere. What should we do today? What's the plan? Do we just want to sit and chat? Do we want to do a dye project? Do we want to acid etch some blades? Do you want to look at handle material that I have and think about what blades I could put what handle material on? I could just sit here in silence and do one of these. Maybe I'll make a collection video. Would probably be like 4 hours long. we would watch. It's a collection I dream of owning in my fantasies. Smock, you want to come on the show sometime? You want to go live with me on a Thursday night or something? You can show off your collection. I'm trying to use the mouse on this right now. That's not working. Idiot. Did I see the new Civivi Amarok? Did I? Cicero, are you still happy? Are you totally content with your new purchase? You know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, you only got to see what Coal Grabs gave. You didn't get to see the real Smock collection. Cicero slept like a baby. What's up, Kane? What was I doing? Yeah, that's what it was. Talk about. It's Friday. I'm about to try to turn off, but I really need to turn on because I have constantly things to do. More things in life that I want to do than I have the time to do. No complaints. No complaints. But I keep getting behind the new Amarok. Oh, it's like a, oh, it's, oh, oh, oh. Sorry, making some sounds for you there. Here it is. The new Civivi Amarok. Button lock. Aluminum handle, Emerson wave, seatbelt cutter, karambit style. What do we think about this? Matt, are you getting one? Edwards. Guys are all talking about someone going live on the Discord is just a chaos, isn't it? Pretty fun. I'm glad I'm in there. Don't always get to, you get behind so quick. He probably owns a Kyle Royer sword. Why wouldn't he? Mick Ranger's got the Pistache and the Orlock on the way. So do I. So do I. Anyone else? Order that stash. The Orlock. I also ordered the Pistache because, yes. What's up, B Shady? Yeah, I don't know about this, the Karambits. The Amarok is interesting. What was that one that was similar to that? Was it a Civivi or a CJRB? Or there was a new one I got months ago that I ended up using for a giveaway. I do like this, the folding fillet knife. I did look at it when we were in a blade show. Look at how long that handle is, and then the blade folds out, and then the blue part folds up. So you've got a short little handle with a big old fillet knife on there. Silliness. I love it. I don't think I'm going to get one. Ed has the best tri-stash in history. Sure does. It's different from their usual. Yeah, Matt. So is this one. And so is the one that I looked at when we were in Texas, that I haven't really seen anything on since then. I should find that short. The one that had the weird lock on it. Let me see if I can find that. It would be under... What's everyone carrying today? Anybody got anything wild, something new, something borrowed, something Blue. I used to work weddings. 2 or 3 weddings a week for years. Shorts. That's not going to cut it down the way I wanted it to. Prototype maybe might be what I need to write. That's not working for me here. Nope. I wish I knew what I wrote. There it is. There it is. This thing was wild. I haven't seen anything on this yet. Hold on a second. Anybody remember this video? So it has this switch on the back. You pull it down, it opens. You pull it down, it closes. So it's like click down, that whole thing, see that spring right there? You push it, it goes down. You push it again, it goes up. Up, down. Let's watch that one more time. So this was a Civivi Proto. Right? So then you can see there's a spring right there. So this whole piece goes down like a piston, and you push it down and that opens it, and then you push it down and let go and it closes it at the same time. It was weird. Ed's got a Link static flicker.
All right, checking out the only game with the worst of graphics again.
All right. We don't need that. Hi. A little gray. Okay, Ed, what are you linking? Oh. Ed just linked this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The gummy worm. Pinch grip all day. That sure is pretty. It's too late to the dark mode. Right, dude, yeah, the dark mode only lasted like a minute. Clint's niece is getting married tomorrow. Congratulations. Forrest Hanks Friday is Homer Zoo Parrot Day. Yes. Ed, is that the same link? It's the same link. Specifically put piss stash money aside. I just knew it was like, yep, well, I'll be getting that when it comes out. Of course, it comes out almost the exact same time as the Orlock and the Keris and several, knives. It's like, oh, I've been wanting all of these knives for months and months, and they all kind of pop at the same time. But you sometimes just gotta go. Just gotta go. Got the new Kershaw Barricade Serrate. The Piss and the Tiffany ones are still available, it looks like. Probably not many left, I would assume. But considering the first two went out of stock almost immediately, the blue one will probably not sell out. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a certain specific few people that will love that Tiffany blue. One of the two people will be Tri-State himself. I'm sure there's a few people that'll like it. What's up, Dirty Dan? I like the Ultim, and a lot of people hate the Ultim, so it's like there's a little bit of different strokes for all different folks, right? Wait a minute now, what's going on here? Okay, sorry, popping windows open like crazy. So yeah, anyway, what's the good word? What's the word on the street? I think the Tiffany blue was a bad decision, but I'm sure it will eventually sell. yeah, you know, and you're making a design for something, you kind of have to go with some of the things you love. Maybe you wanted a little variety. If it had made the same total, but then made 100 more of the dark mode version, then those would have probably already been all sold, so there is that. But you don't know. And giving some variety, giving some options, it's going to reach out to some people that maybe would never go for it because they really were looking for that, the one that matches this K-bar right here, And then they find that and they're like, oh, look at that. I've been looking for something that'll match that blue outfit that I got. Problem was pricing of the variants, too close in price. True. If the piss in the G10 is 139 and the titanium is 149, I almost want to say that the G10 one should have been like $20 cheaper than it was. I can see that, or even more. I mean, G10, exact same handle or exact same blade versus a titanium, and it's only $10 difference. That makes sense. And I think, yeah, if you would have only made titanium ones and dark mode ones, would they all be sold right now? Maybe. I would have gotten that diamond titanium one. I really liked it, but there's a certain time and place where you do want to get some Altum. And the pistachio is kind of one of those places for me. A lot of you want that dark mode one the best. I probably wouldn't have got the dark mode one. I would have gotten just the plain titanium one. I was looking at a lot of my knives, and I have a lot of knives that are just that plain titanium, no color, maybe a little dark wash or something on the titanium, but kind of just that nice, simple, all gray kind of a look. I had a few more laying right here, but of course I move stuff around constantly. We got Fred's KB. I do have to do the review on this quick so I can get it sent out. This one's pretty fun. I'm not a fan though. I can thumb stud this one out good, and the front flipper is nice, but I cannot flick this one with the full frame lock. The pressure for the left hand kind of makes it not work. You can do it with the right. Well, maybe. Maybe I can't even do it with the right. Wow. My right hand, I've broken several fingers, thumbs, wrist. Kind of weak. What's up, MPG? How's MPG doing? Those of you who ever check it out, haven't seen MPG, she has a little channel herself. She does lives on Sunday early evening. Good old fun time. I'm almost never there. Sundays are busy for me. How are you doing, MPG? What's the good word? So MPG lives close to Blade Show West. So that is going to be coming up. MPG, I'm assuming you're going to be at Blade Show for one of the days at least. Yeah? No? Whoever mentioned the reverse dark mode the other day is a boss. That would go. And he could have done like some tuxedos and some stuff like that. We will be going to West. Awesome. So let's look forward to seeing some cool little recaps or some vids or something from MPG for Blade Show West. I would like to get out there. I've done a lot of trips this year and kind of tapped out on that and saving to be able to get more things, more supplies and stuff for the channel. Ordering my anodizing machine setup for this weekend. So I'll be being able to do some in-house anodizing very soon, which I'm very excited for. Mick, I think if he did a nice micarta version rather than Tiffany blue, yeah, I'm a micarta fan. I mean, we talked about this the other day. Titanium, textured titanium for the win. But ultimately, I prefer micarta over like G10 or like FRN or like aluminum or whatever. I like micarta a lot. I think micarta is really good. Feels nice. I like how when it starts to like age, you start getting like some color shifts and some weathering and kind of some battle. This is pretty much still new, but get some kind of weathered look to it. This is my XL original. Thinking about doing a dye or something with this. What could we do? What would we do? This has got the green micarta. Nice little button lock original from Kizer. I want to do something to that. I got a Kizer Task I'm going to do a dye with. But I'm interested in doing something cool with all the little dots and the grooves. It'd be nice to do like a Skittle dye and have those all be different, but getting dye to stick when it's not hot doesn't work well, and so I'm not sure unless I'm considered mixing some acetone with the dye, and then you could do little drops and kind of see what would happen, but it could get messy and screw up pretty easily. I know the acetone can kind of make dye hit really quick and do things that you might not ready for. Is $8.50 a good price for a BRB4XL unused? Thanks. Anyone? Smock says retail is $800. Wait, Dirty Dan, make that 50 if Steve isn't available. What? What's up, Grateful Dawn? Don't do it. What's going on, Henry? I might have missed something in the chat there. Do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Do it. What are you up to this weekend, Henry? Don't know about the Skittles color though. Yeah, it was just a thought because it had the dots. I'm not a big rainbow or it would actually be kind of like that gummy bear or gummy worm thing. But I would like to do something to this. Maybe dye it and then sand it. And so then the dye would only, actually, that might be a good idea. I've done weathered dyes. Like this was a kind of a brownish color, and then I dyed it blue and then sanded. So then where I sanded, you can see the edges went back to the kind of brown, gives it this kind of weathered, dirty blue jean kind of look. I could do something like that with the Task. It's white. Like if we were to dye it like blue and then get in there and then sand it a little bit, you could get the tops of the peaks of the pattern to kind of lighten up and kind of go back to white a little bit. That could be a cool contrast. What do we think about that? And what color would we do? Because it's white, we have a pretty much endless ability, because that white is going to make any color we do pop. It'll make a green pop, it'll make a yellow pop or red, versus if you start off with like jade, because the jade's already there. If I do red with this, it's going to be red and jade, so it's going to be a little bit more maroon or brown, versus you do red on this white and that red can be super bright. Do all different color greens on the Task. Different color greens, like a camel. MPG says blues. I don't know about blues, only because right now it's white and black, and when you start getting dark blue, I'm not really a fan of dark blue and black together. It displeases me. Light blue and black would be all right, but dark blue I don't like with black. I have like a couple dark blues with black liners, and I end up swapping them out for silver, and they look way better. To me. Everybody's got different tastes, I know. Rye's going to be live at the Pennsylvania Knife Show tomorrow. Should prove to be interesting. There's a knife show tomorrow here, the Midwest Knife Makers Guild down on the south side of Minneapolis. I not on the right planet right now to have remembered. Donnie got a hold of me and said, oh, he forgot about it. He wanted to sign up for it. There's Donnie right there. So I might go try to do that tomorrow. It's the Midwest Knife Makers Guild show, so it's only going to be like knife makers, custom knife makers, small independent guys just doing their thing like Donnie does, which is great. It's cool. But there won't be like the big companies, you know, like Concept and Kizer and stuff won't really be there. There'll be a couple of booths that have some stuff, you know, or like American Edge. Why is my brain not working? The company in Minnesota. He's usually there. You're going to go live from the show? I don't even know if I'm going to be at the show. I have family plans for tomorrow, and I wasn't really thinking about going down there, but maybe I can do both. Donnie's doing some hand sanding right now. Start with dark green, sand it, dip into lighter green, sand it, dip into lighter green. I don't think I'm going to remove that much when you sand it though. And then I wonder, because the nice thing is like you do a first layer and then you do a second layer of this and that, it'll make this one darker. So you do the darkest green first and then sand it and then do the lighter green, and it'll be, you know, and then if you do an overlap, it'll be the dark green and then this will be, so you would have to overlap completely so that everything the first green had will have that green plus the new green to make it even darker yet. And then it'd be like, become like cells. I see what you're saying. And I like that idea. It would be the darkest in the middle of each one is what would end up happening. Because you wouldn't really be able to sand away the middle as well as the top edge. So the top edge is going to get hit first. It's going to be the lightest. And then it'll be darkest deep in each groove. So it'd be like dark green in there, and it would slowly kind of fade out. Right. I totally see what you're saying, Mick. I'm just, you know, we have to talk it out loud and think about it completely to try to make sense of what it's going to do. That could be done. I don't know how well the different greens will show when you could almost just do one green with different levels of darkness. Because you can do one shade, you know, like the purple fade that never shows up well. But here, like if you look at how dark purple this is right here, compared to right here, compared to right there. Very light, kind of middle purple, super dark purple. And so those all were from one shade of purple. You don't really necessarily would need different shades. You could do a really dark green and like a medium green and a really light green just with the one. But I could start with a super dark green, and then the last one I could do like a lime type of a green or something. Although I don't know, I think I only have 2 greens right now anyway. I feel like there's not enough space that you're going to be able to get enough separation in the colors that you would need that many. But I think even with the one, we could probably get a pretty interesting fade. Because every time you sand down, it's gonna bring it down a little bit, which is gonna make those scoops a little bit lighter. We'd have to do it really light, so we'd have to dip really dark for a short amount of time so it doesn't sink in too much. Sand it, dip, sand it, dip, sand it. So short dips, I think. And then what happens is the darkest spot will be a combination of like the 10 short dips. And then a really vivid green at the end for the top. Or even just white, just leave it the white. Black and zombie green, says Brando's. I like this idea. We choose our lives from the fabric of our minds, and we do not need someone to draw it for us in a movie scenario. But sometimes it's nice to see it. Let's do it. You want to do it right now? I mean, we could do it right now. Except for I don't know how many greens I have. That's the only issue. But you could, like the last one, you could do yellow. And then that yellow would actually mix with a little bit of the green, and it would already be kind of a shade of green. Yeah, I think a really light, the wire brush might be too much because then it's going to scratch lines versus I think like a really fine, like an 800 grit sandpaper or something. Then you do it really light and you basically just really lightly do it, and then it won't affect it as much because you'd have to be gentle, I think. And there are grooves, you can't, that doesn't show up as much, but you can see the levels. I don't know if I hold this up close and focus. Yeah, you can see inside there, you can see the levels as it's cutting down into the lower sections. So you can see those circles. So realistically, even one single color, if you look inside of each one of these where it has the shadow, there's the lighter white and then the darker white, those little circles. Just a light dye is going to make those all stick out. So it's already going to give us part of that. Let's see if I have an example of something that shows up. See this, where you can see, like, if I could get it to stay focused. See inside of all the grooves, all those grooves look white. They're like a different color. You can't see those as much, but when you dye it, it makes all those pop that much more. So every time you have some type of a detail, it's going to pop even more. So as I'm looking at this, if I can get her to focus, come on. Really? Those little circles inside there are going to do that effect for us. This green is sick, isn't it? Except for this is not my green. Laid Off Pete did this one, and then I bought it from him. He had some knives he was looking to sell. He did the dye on this. Damn Designs, something. And I thought it'd be cool to have a little dye job from another person, so support little Laid Off Pete's little thing. Do a third dip starting with dark, 3 different shades of green, finish with zombie green. I love everything you're saying, Mick, but I think we're literally going to have to drop it down to like 2, 4. I've done multiple color dyes, and it's just, it ends up not making it, you're not going to notice. You could get 4 different shades of green with the one. I don't know. We're talking about it, Grateful. I mean, we could do that one right now. I also have these two. Let's take a look. A couple of Kizers. That's the Yacht. This is the Porcupine. So these are both just nice satin handles with some jade. This one has black hardware. This one has silver hardware. But we could do a dye on one of these. We could acid etch the blade. We could stonewash the blade. Something like that. Is the white knife the Ozark Trail or Benchmade? Which, the one that we're looking at dyeing? This one here? If this is the one you're talking about, this is a Kizer. This is the Kizer Task. It's got Kizer's clutch lock, which is their crossbar style lock. Thumb studs that I'm failing at right now. The Kizer Task, if that's the one you're talking about. I don't have the Ozark Trail, the white one. I have the green Ozark Trail. So the warranty, this is the Porcupine, I think. Is that what it's called? Yep. So this is the Porcupine. Kind of a budget one from Kizer. 9CR18 MOV flipper tab. I think you can, yeah, you can flick this out. There's no fuller to flick it, but you can. So I got this one for doing like a dye acid etch type of a thing. Anybody interested in that? This is the Yacht, the Yacket, Kizer Yacket, another budget from Kizer. The JG10 and then 9CR18 MOV. I think I might be able to, maybe not. I don't know if I can, I can't flick that one out, but not designed to. Flipper tab. Use a dropper and put a different color into each divot on the white one. Grateful, we've talked about that. And the problem with that is we'd have to get creative and add acetone or something to that effect, because dye, room temperature dye can sit. I tried, if you saw the Coius, the Kubi Coius, I tried to do a marble dye, and I let it sit in a red marble dye set up for like 2 or 3 days, and it didn't even soak any color in. It still looks white because the dye needs to have heat in order to be activated. So you heat the dye up and you put it in hot dye, and it will dye very quickly. So if you take a drop and put a drop in there, you could put some you could heat the dye up and put a drop of hot dye in there. But 1 drop of liquid will literally drop down. You put that in there, it'll get to room temperature in like seconds. It'll only take a few seconds for that little teeny amount of liquid to cool back to room temperature, and now you have a room temperature dye sitting in there that you could then take out 2 days later and might not have really changed color at all. So it would be all right. Nail polish works wonders to stop the colors from blending into each other. Then how do you get the nail polish off? You're a drop of liquid. Right, Mick. When you use acetone to remove the nail polish, the acetone will affect the color of the dye. So when you wipe it off, you got a nice bright red, and you wipe it off with acetone, that bright red is now going to be a dull red. And if you don't wipe it perfectly even, it's going to be splotchy from where you removed it with the acetone. But the acetone will remove the nail polish, but acetone will also remove dye. It won't remove all the dye, but it'll affect it. In bright white, it will lighten it up, or it'll make it dull or matte. Just dye it pink. Dude, I've done that. We dyed Wheezy's son, Josh, wanted Vision FG. He gave me a white Vision FG, and we did a fade, a white to red fade that actually turned out awesome. I'll show you. Maybe I could do that. Instagram, I have pictures. Hold on a second. Just give me one moment in time. I don't think it's that far back. No, it's definitely not. Oh, there it is. I got it. I got it. There it is. Let me bring that down here. Sorry. Colors aren't going to be quite true the way we're taking this in, but that was his Vision FG. We did a fade. He gave me a picture of a rally car, a WRX that was painted white to pink, like hot pink. And that definitely is like hot pink down at the bottom. Turned out pretty good. It was a nice dye, nice little fade. That fade worked really good. But red can take, when it's hot, it will take really quick. It will take really quick. It will take some of the dye, but it'll still look cool. Yeah, but the consistency of how much dye acetone removes, I've tried, because I've been trying to do these marble dyes, and I've been working with resist. I tried nail polish. I didn't like what happened. I tried hot glue. That didn't work very well. I tried because man, vinyl, like you can do like vinyl. The thing is, if it was smooth, like if it was like smooth like this, you could put a vinyl cutout on there and get perfect patterns. But any type of texture at all, you put a vinyl cover on there and the dye will bleed into these cracks. That's the other thing, is all the little textures and any things that you see, those are little lines and grooves. So when you do a resist, the dye has a tendency to want to shoot into those little grooves and cracks, which can be annoying. It's really fun, but it gives you, wow. It gives you, there's some struggles in trying to do. So, how are you dyeing it? How are you dyeing it, says Grateful. Well, what are we dyeing? So that was the yacht. I also have my Kizer original that we could do like an acid etch, stonewash, something to the blade. We could dye this brown green micarta a different color. You also have that cougar knife. What is this called? The cougar, or it is the cougar. What's this? My brain is not working right now. Ned Foss cougar, right? So I plan on doing a laser mark to this one. Maybe acid etch or something on the blade. So that's not one we're going to do today because I don't have laser mark in here. We're talking hot old lady knives. Ooh. Yes, please. I say you do the 3 to 4 dip idea using all different shades of green. I'd love to, Mick. I might have 2 shades of green here right now total. I don't even have 4 shades of green. So I would literally need to leave the house and go buy said shades of green in order to do that. So we can't do that. If that's the way we're going to do it, we can't do that one today. Because I literally have 2 greens. I have probably 20 some colors, but I only have 2 greens. And one of them's old and does not work very well, unfortunately. Cougar. I also have this. Can I top flip this? Yes. The Concept. Anybody know what this is? So Mick, we'll save that one for another day. Fair enough. I will go by note. I actually need to go get a few other things because I need to get some clear coat as well. So I can put that on the list. I'll pick that up this weekend. Done. So this is a Concept top flipper with a micarta handle that we could dye something. What do we think about that one? Kind of a nice front flipper, top flipper Concept. What is this one called? It doesn't say. It has to say. Revery. The Concept Revery. Get a really dark green and a neon green. Right now I have the dark green. I have a base green and a dark green right now. And I can't top flip that very well. So this is the Concept Revery. We could do something with that. And Valley, all Flightanium Deca and most mini bug out scales are half off if anyone needs another project. Flightanium Deca scales, and the mini bug out scales, if anyone's interested. I don't have either of those knives. Don't think we'd be able to make it glow. We'd be able to make it green. This is about as bright green as I think you'd be able to do. Is this right here? I don't think you'd really be able to get any brighter of a green. Unless it's like a lime green where it's almost kind of a yellow green, where it's more like, you know, starting to push into like that. Green's always been the hardest color to get a good shade. What was the one I always show? This was intended to be green, and it just wasn't quite green yet. It was kind of on its way to green, and then it ended up this, which it's green. That's green. I mean, I don't know what it looks like to you, like a really dark blue green, but there is green in there. It almost looks gray, but this should have been more green than this. Cubifemius, really nice knife. What about adding tritium inserts? Well, the tritium inserts will glow, but where we put them, and those are probably expensive. So yeah, that was an attempt at green, which it did end up, I just left it in trying to get it to go, and then all of a sudden it just went gray, and it was like, well, that's not working. But that's also an old batch. So that old batch just did not die as well. This is kind of a yellow lime green. What's up, Fred? Dayglow. There isn't really a Dayglow dye. And Dayglow needs to be, there's a lot of that. It has to really be part of it. When you're starting off with jade or just a piece of white G10, it's hard to do a dye to get that glowy. It doesn't really. Oh, you actually just get the material, right? Yeah, if you want it to be glow, you just get some glow material and then make the scales out of that. You're not going to really make it dye. There is no, I've looked at that too. There isn't really any dye that works the way that like poly dyes work for soaking into plastic. There's some fabric you can buy. It's like, it's not really dye, but it's like fabric paint that you can put on the fabric to make it glow. But I've been looking up stuff to do a glow dye, and the stuff that I got will make your shirt, you can have a white shirt glow, but it's not going to make, I tried it on some G10 and some micarta, and it didn't look like it even did anything. Right, Fred's talking about actually using pieces of glow material. Yeah, I get you. I get you. We're not doing that today either. We're trying to figure out if there's some type of a project we could actually do right now. What's up, Robin? How's it going today? I have one knife with this. Take it on and add it to the Discord. Yeah, show us, Fred. So as far as the knives that I have that we can do a project on today, not that. We can't do any. I have a few blank blades we could acid etch. I got these scales that I laser marked, so they were red, and I laser marked that on there. This is a little cheap Cabela's knife. I sandblasted a couple of the blades, media blasted it up, cleaned it off, so that's what it'll look like. So this, thought about acid etching a couple of these blades and maybe stone washing them. We could do that if we wanted to. All right, where is, we could do something to this drop bear it's looking fine, but it's also looking kind of dirty and blah, so it's like maybe it needs a little bit of color or something. Day glow vials on AE are quite expensive. All right, we have this Migron Parasum that we could try to do a dye, acid etch, stonewash, something to that if we want. Nice little Migron Parasum, or I think that's what this one is. I've done a couple projects to that one. We got those two Kizers, the Porcupine, and the Yacht. I've got the Concept Revery. Boom. We could do a dye or something to that. I haven't done any really major designs, Robin, but I've done a few. Seems fine. I've done a few acid etch stonewash. So this, I did the acid etch, but then I masked the lower section so that it gives it like a false, like Kenman kind of a look. American Edge. So yeah, I did the acid etch on there and then left that little edge to give it that kind of look. I did another one. Which one was that I did? Shoot. Oh, it was that. This one right here was the first one I did. I didn't really put the line in the right spot. Boom. Made it a little high. Looks kind of like a great white shark belly. So I did that. And then I did one on the, where is that? This one, the Natchez. No pattern, but I acid etched stonewash that. That turned out, look at that. If you can see the pattern on there of those little, just those stonewash, really, really fine bead stonewash. It took forever to shake that up and get it to do anything. I've been wanting to do some more with some resists and some different things. What's up, Paul? Paul the Pinar Snip. I was going to do a false Kenman on one of yours. It's not that hard to do. I used fingernail polish. This one, it turned out great on this Olatans. I love how it looks now, like from there, right? Just the overall look. But I just used fingernail polish along there on both sides. And then once it was done, acetone, remove the fingernail polish. What are you up to this weekend, Paul? Thinking about doing a little project right now. But I don't know. We could just sit here and hang out. I do have to do this. This is a project I should do this weekend. So I want to do a dye on this. But I'm also going to do a snip. We're going to do a snip on this. Like snip it. Like what? There's no flipper tab. Yeah. I'm snipping the blade. Paul, you ever do that? And by that, I mean I'm going to take this blade and cut off that much of it. Get rid of it. And so I'm going to cut real slow, try not to get it hot, but I want to remove that much of it, and then that's going to end up showing up right here. You're going to see well, that end is going to be silver, so I'm going to take the whole blade and then end up media blasting it. You've reprofiled a few. This, the Pyrite Light is just too long, and if I go like this, it's up against my palm. And I've cut my palm with this a few times. The profile for the blade on the Pyrite Light is way too long. It goes all the way out. You can, look, it's touching. You can cut yourself right there, all the way to the end. which is just silly. You look at the regular pyrite, the regular pyrite's perfect. I've never cut myself. I can have it deep in my palm and do this all day long and not worry about it cutting because the blade ratio is correct. It's lower. It goes in down there, not all the way out at the tip. And so I love the Pyrite. I think the Pyrite's a great knife. But the Pyrite Light, I don't like that they made that tip longer. So we're gonna do a die on the handle, and then I'm gonna blast the blade and give it like kind of a more of a kind of this kind of look to it. I did a blast on this one here. It was black. It matched the clip and the liners and stuff, but I like it way better now because when you close it, you look inside there. When it was black, it just was the same as the liner, so you could see that was just all black right there. And now when it goes in there, you see the contrast more. And it has that just like that dull kind of matte finish. I like that quite a bit. So I'm going to do that to the blade. We're going to cut off about that much of it. And then we're going to dye that handle. Anyone ever got tritium vials? Anyone? Let's snip it. Snip it. Any German World War II knives? No, I do not. What's up, Lemons? How's it going, D? Fred put the picture on Discord. I don't have Discord up on my I don't know even know what my login is. I only have that on my phone right now, Fred, and I can't open that on my phone right now because I'm live. So I'll have to look at it after. If you want us to look at it now, you could send it to my Instagram. I could open that up. I need to set that Discord up on my computer though. I just haven't done it yet, and I have no idea what my password actually is. So that's a project for the future. The Cougar is a project for the future. Sometimes they claim it's tritium, but it's really only some type of rare earth that needs to be charged, and they suck. Yep, Fred just sent me a text. I can't read those either, Fred. I can't open anything on my phone when I'm live on the phone. As soon as I go to open something, then it closes the live. I had one of those Bokers that had the Sherman tank material. That's fun. I got some things basically amounted to what looked like poorly cut glow printer filament. So there's that. I've never really gotten into it. I'm not a huge... Glow is cool. I have a couple glow things. I know Glow Mix sells true tritium, but they are... Yeah, that's what I've seen is when it's like, whenever it seems to be real tritium, it's expensive. It's definitely expensive. Oh my God. Come on, mouse. Work with me. Work with me. Oh, wrong one. My bad. Day glow surrounding the Spidey hole. All right, so Fred sent us the photo. We can open this one here. I apologize for making it tough on you there, Fred. Okay, day glow surrounding the Spidey hole on the pivot collars, 3 pieces on the edge between the bolster and the handle. Okay, bop, bop, bop. And then picture does not show how it glows. It's just there. All right, sorry, I can see that we can't see that yet. All right, so we're zooming in. And so Fred's saying there's glow inserts. Bing, bing, bing. Those 3 little dots are glow inserts. And then there's a glow insert around the ring. Very interesting. So that was a custom. Was that part of the knife then when they made it, Fred? I keep forgetting to switch it from top chat to live chat. Ugh, that's so dumb. For the technology, Fred, you did fine. I apologize. I wasn't able to open it up on my phone right now. That is cool. So around the collar, right there, and then in the, so the pivot collar and the Spidey hole and the dots. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Matt says OCD for EDC has tritium. It's kind of an interesting accent that you could add to things. What is this? Oh, it looks like I have a couple of Rosecraft on the way for the pass around. That's cool. Those will be here soon. That's always nice. Rosecraft has got some cool stuff. Actually, we should look that up. I got an email from Rosecraft about them kind of moving more into more traditional stuff. And so they're going to have a sale on all of their modern knives and kind of start focusing on the more traditional folders and stuff, which is cool because they do a great job on those. Loving this one. I open it on all the lives or whatever. This is the newest one, the Elk River Easy Open Jack. Nice budget slip joints. OCD for EDC has tritium, but if you want tritium, make sure you get the true tritium and not the rare earth glow sticks. Right. And if the price seems to be too good to be true, it probably is. So I would keep that in mind as well if you're trying to get stuff, and the real stuff is probably going to be expensive. So the price, if the price sounds too good to be true, then maybe watch out. So Rosecraft, I don't have a link or anything. I don't know. I'm sure maybe Titanium Justin has one, or Casey. I don't have a link for Rosecraft as far as a discount or anything like that. But these probably aren't going to work on the discount anyway because they're having a super sale. So the walleyes, $10, $15 off. These MA11s are $20 off. The Pocket Monsters half price. Arius Rex is $20 off. Kifara $15 off. But yeah, all of their, it looks like they're going to be slowly getting rid of the moderns, even though they made this modern, the MA12, they just made that. Just released it, just sent me one, and you can't see it in the dark. Here it is. It's the MA12 button lock only, so there's no way to open it. The blade's actually stuck in there. Well, you can swing it open, swing it closed. It's like heavy duty work. Big old blade, big handle. Wear some gloves and still be able to use this thing. But yeah, it looks like Rosecraft sent an email out saying they're going to kind of start phasing out some of their modern stuff and get to paying more attention with the traditionals. So if you are interested in some of their modernized knives, they're mostly budget friendly, under $50, $60, and now they're all around 20 or 30. The Tarkanis, $15 off, $29.99. The Weihas, the Jokas, the OG, I got one of those for a giveaway from Jimmy Crow, I believe, way back in the day. The little chunk, I have that one. The little chunk is $58.99. Right now, you can get this for $23. Look at how huge that is. Let me turn my light on. The little chunk, $58.99 D2, beastly chunky, and it's only $23 right now. If you're looking for maybe some some gifts for a new knife person in your world or something. The pocket monsters are 25 bucks. Pocket monsters are ugly. I got one. This is a Swags design. And yeah, maybe some of these aren't really your style, but if you are looking for a couple of budgets options, you do like Rosecraft, you want to get some of these modern Rosecraft knives before they are not available anymore. There's a couple of them I really like. The Arius Rex. Look at that harpoon way out on the end there. D2 and micarta with the copper on this one. These are on sale right now. So that's pretty fun. And I'll be interested to see. Rosecraft has been making a lot of really cool new stuff. Their fixed blades are nice. And I got a few of the new slip joints will be here soon. So I'm excited. All right. Okay, so on AE, that is not true tritium. They need to be charged by a light. So true tritium does not need a charge. It just glows. Does it glow brighter with a charge? I apologize. I don't have the vast knowledge. I guess we got this one too that we're going to do for a project anytime too. This is the one that Grateful Dong sent, the egress from Concept. I love the way the blade is already. This black on there, that black wash they do, and they knock down the edges and stuff. I love that. That's great. Bought my first integral today. The only one I have ever handled was the Excalibur to just check out. Which one did you buy, Paul? What integral did you purchase? Tritium just glows. It just glows. You got to get that glow. Who's the master? I am. So we could dye this one. Hour and 7 minutes already? How does that even happen? I've said that a bunch. It's because I love you guys. Just have some fun. Oh, we got to dye the guile too. We can do something to this white guile. What would we dye this bad boy? Look at how white that is. There we go. Focused. What's up, Neil? Want to get some true tritium studs for so bad can't find them anywhere. I got some tritium studs. How did I end up getting those? I don't even know where they are. I got tritium studs for the NAFS Lander 2, and I never put them on. But I don't know how good the studs from NAFS were, or if they're even still available. I got them like a year ago, and they're still in the little bag. That was an old movie reference, Fred. How do you think I find my real people? That's how I find my real people. Paul might. I don't think I've ever seen tritium in person before. I think I have, but it's only on the pew-pews. On like sites. I've seen some on sites where then the 2 dots on the site is just something like that. The Last Dragon, sure enough. Mick says he's got some tritium. Yep. That's kind of, I think that's kind of one of the more common places it's found. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, how often Is the glow like, oh, it's on the table and it's in pitch black, but now I can find it on the table in pitch black? Like, how often are you going to be in the pitch black that it's necessary? Handed the guile with TI scales today. Smooth. I like the guile quite a bit. It's smooth. It feels good. What's the name of his company? Peaceful Neighbor, something like that. The Shogun of Harlem. Yeah. Rise going live 11 tomorrow. Fred's going to be at the show. Peace Neighbor. Something like that. Peace Neighbor. But he had the scales. I mean, this is a budget knife for like what are these, 60, 70 bucks with Nitro V. This is a good knife at that price for what it is. $150 titanium scales are cool. I like them. But are you going to buy $150 titanium scales and then put them on this with this Nitro V base? Like, sell a $200 knife with the titanium scales and an S90V blade on it. Or 154 CM on it. I'm not trying to talk bad about the Nitro V. It's just when you buy in scales, you know, like if you buy $150 or $200 knife and then you buy $100 scales for the knife, you know, the scales are like half the price of the knife, not double the price of the knife. Like $150 scales on a $70 knife makes the knife $225, sure, but does that, am I just spitting nonsense here? 3 mil by 25 mil probably, says B Shady. Is that what usually studs? I never really. Let's just have some fun. Wait. Inches, millimeters. So that is a 4.8 millimeter thumb stud. Task. 4.7 millimeter stud. Pyrite, 4.7 millimeter stud. I think we're finding a pattern here. Drop Bear, 4.7 millimeter stud. Pretty much all the studs I have right now are 4.7, 4.8. Oh, the chunk, 5.7. That's got a beefy stud on it. That's way too big for studs. Really? That doesn't look big. Original? Oh, it's not the size of the stud, it's the size of the hole that the stud goes into. So yeah, like a 5 millimeter stud has a 2 or like a 3 millimeter screw. Is that what you're saying? That probably makes sense. I think that math checks out. Feeling the same about a Rec reblade. $750 for a blade for a Spyderco PM32 Shaman. Yeah. But the blade's a big chunk of the knife. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the blade's a huge percentage of the knife. The handle's a pretty important chunk as well, but I don't know. It's like swapping a motor in a car. What's up, Colin? How you doing? Yeah, I mean, well, I have like an old Volkswagen GTI, so what if I want to put a 300 horsepower engine in my little Volkswagen GTI? I mean, people do it all the time. There's people that'll put a 600 horsepower engine in that little GTI and it rips. I don't need that in my life. I mean, it'd be cool, but I'd be happy with a nice 270 horsepower VR6 platform, just dump it in there in my 1990. It would be awesome. But it's still a Volkswagen GTI. Yeah, but there are some people in the world that like GTIs. It's a cool car. I used to have a 1998. It was the first car I bought new. 98 GTI VR6. It was their little pocket rocket at the time. I love that thing. It was awesome. And I got hit by a drunk driver and he totaled it. It was unfortunate. They were like, yeah, it's a total. And I'm like, no, it's not. We're going to fix it. And they're like, nope, it's totaled. And I'm like, no. We're fixing it. And then, unfortunately, where he hit me was behind where the rear tire was. Broke the tire off, cracked the axle in the back. And so it was like parts of the frame and stuff was what was messed up. Because it didn't look extremely terrible. It was like, yeah, the back corner is all smashed in, but you fix that. And they're like, nope, can't fix it. We're cashing you out. And I'm like, no, I was going to keep this car forever. This is my first, I bought this car, keeping it forever. And they're like, nope, we are not fixing this car. You want the money or not? And I'm like, damn. Working on V-dubs is awesome. Maybe working on new V-dubs is awesome, Donnie. But a 1990 V-dub, the older V-dubs, dude, back before everything had to, these days you go in somewhere in the shop, they have to hook it up to a computer. They can't do anything. They know nothing. They go click, click, and then they have to wait for it to tell them something. Back in the old day, you said awful. Working on V-dubs is not, I don't think working on cars is fun, period, right now. I'd pay someone to do it for me at this point. But the old school cars, you don't hook it up to a computer. It's like, I had a guy who worked on it when I was in California, and the first time I went out there, I was like, yeah, I'm having some issues. And it was, he took a screwdriver, right? He put it on his ear and he touched it down to part of the motor. And he's like, oh, yeah, something's clicking, or whatever. And he's like, oh, you need this and this. And, bop, 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 did this. He's like, just throw me this out the door. It's like, that guy's rad. So every time I had any issues, I went to him. What do you think of the EV VW vans? Are they new? The new ones? I like old VW buses, the VW vans, some of the ones where the top can go up and stuff to living in and camping in and stuff. That'd be cool. That VW was during the Farfignugan phase. Got an 89 Jetta. VW vans have your heart. I have it's a 1990 GTI. There are a few in my neighborhood. They are something. It's just a fun little car. It's a 5-speed. I like driving it. I haven't driven it in a while. Right now I have exhaust issues. It cracked off the back. I need to drop the motor to fix it. And basically, it's an electric. Basically, I have some electrical problems as well. And then transmission's got a few little issues. So I'm looking at a gut swap. What I like to do is just go in and find an old, like a 2098 to 2004 or whatever VR6 that got totaled from the back, and then have them basically drop the everything out, just in gut swap, and they can just pop all that into mine, and then I have a tricked out 1990. And I got it when I was in California, so it's a California car. It, like I said, does have the engine and the transmission issues, but the body is next to rust free. Open the doors and you look under the seals and everything, and there's no rust on it. So it's a really clean candidate for tear down, blast that thing, and it's got no rust. It's just perfect for a sweet gut swap. And then I would just keep it. I don't want to sell it, but that'd be fun little weekend driver, you know. Used to like the Scirocco. Those are great. Those are great. My buddy had one. I'd love to just go and get a Pontiac Fiero. I would love to have an old Pontiac Fee, bro. Just a nice old Fiero. Just a rear wheel drive, little tiny little car. They're so fun. So much fun. Had a 72 Beetle in high school. That's cool though, Mersalt. I would love, my sister always liked the old Beetles. I'd love to be rich and buy one for her, but you don't always get what you want. Not always. What happened here? Oh, I paused myself. I thought I froze. Wife killed your last transmission. Teaching her how to drive. Next car has to be an auto. Yeah, I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know, I drive my Toyota. If I have a Highlander auto, that's my good daily driver for living in Minnesota. All-wheel drive, with the snow and the ice and etc. And but a nice stick shift, nice 5-speed stick shift. They're fun. A Baja bug, it'll happen. Good old Bajas. Are bugs even something that you can find? Are they starting to get expensive too? I know back in the day you used to be able to find an old hot rod or something that you could start fixing up, but there are only so many out there, and the more years that go by, them older bugs probably becoming less and less. You know, more people are buying them and then fixing them up or whatever, or totaling them out, and you know, they're only going to increase in value if you find one that's any good. I had a Saab 900 turbo back in the day, says Fred. The old Saabs. Those are fun. What's up, Dylan? Dylan Mallory in the house. Well, we haven't gotten much done today other than chat, which is fine. I considered doing a project. I guess we still could. Anyone know, seen anything? Is MC going to go live tonight or not? He might. Bees will be live later. When is Bees? Around 7, right? 7:15-ish, probably. But MC's kind of been sporadic. Like, he's been doing it on Saturdays as well, on here and there. He usually doesn't have much on alerts. It's like you get the alert maybe a half hour or so before he goes live. So it could be tomorrow, it could be today. 1990s Miatas. Miatas are all right. They're too small for me, Donnie. I've been in them. I'm too tall. You have to have the top down, and then my head does stick out the top. Dad had a couple of Beetles when you were little. If he still had them, they'd probably up in the value, I would bet. Used to be everywhere, though. Remember, some of us will remember the old slug bug. You'd see one, and you get to punch somebody next to you. You know, slug bug red, slug bug green, you know. And now you don't even see them. Back in the days. Palmer here's us talking cars. Brand new American. I had my old van too. I had an old 74 Dodge B100. It had a bored out 383 V8 in it, straight piped. Ugh. loud, gorgeous, matte black. I had the A-Team wing on the back. Absolute murder van. It was great. And it's completely empty. Had the 2 seats in the front, and then the back was completely hollow. The old S2000s, buddy of mine had one of those. Those are a little bit better, a little sportier, bigger than the Miata, but still a little small for me. When you're like basically pushing 6'3", you're kind of on that edge of not really working out. S2000. Palmer just sold a straight pipe Chevelle. 454 cooled starts. My 383 in the van, it would those vans, like, it was like there was the thing, the engine was right next to you when you're driving, so like you wanted to work on it, you'd pop that thing open and the engine was literally right there. And if you didn't get it to start right away, you would basically open that up, take the air filter off the top, take a little cup and pour gas directly into it, and that thing would just explode and start. How many times you ever try pouring gas into something when you don't have a cup? Like, oh, someone's like, oh, here's a cup. They give you the styrofoam cup. You ever try to pour gas into a styrofoam cup? Yeah, no, that does not work. That does not work. Although it's fun. When someone was with me and they're like, oh, I'll get it to start. You know, it's like you just go boom, 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 boom. You know, you're like, oh, it's not going to start. You just open it up and go boom, boom, boom. As you're dumping a little gas in there. Whoom. Oh, yeah. Fired right up. It's like, we're good. And then you have to put the air filter back on, close the thing up because you don't want all, and you're like the engine literally in the van with you. Got tickets in a few weeks. Still don't know what I'll take there. Palmer. Oh, I got eyeball issues. Give me 1 second. Got it. Oh. Sorry. I'm not crying. You're crying. 32s on the Outback are going to be great. I also have I have a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I need to sell that. I need to get rid of it. It has power steering issues, a few other issues. I just need to dump it for cheap. I don't know why I didn't sell it when I got the Toyota. Got 3 cars in the driveway. I live by myself. Sorry. Get a little dust in my eyes and they start getting scratchy. Yeah, your dad had an old Dodge. Yeah, mine was the B100. It's fantastic. It was sick. And because it was so loud, it was so funny the way that engine worked, because it was like blah 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 blah. You just basically straight piped. It was super loud. But what would happen is, like, you let off the gas and it's quiet. Like, so if you're like going 40 miles an hour and you're like blah, 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 you know, driving along, and then you let off the gas, it's like no sound, just so you could slowly creep to a stop without making much sound and creep up on someone and then hit the gas and be like, it sounded like a Harley. Just neighbors didn't like it. Was really loud, but it was great. Fred, I have 3 cars, but mine all run. My Volkswagen will run. Not well. It's got an exhaust leak. and some electrical problems, but it will run. I wouldn't rely on it to drive anywhere. And the Jeep will drive, but it just has the power steering is bad. So it was going bad when I was getting the new vehicle, and I learned that if you filled up the power steering fluid, it would spray it all out, and then it would be really empty and wouldn't work at all. What's up, Mike? I'm not gonna say your full name though. We know that trick. And so what I learned was instead of filling it up with fluid, you just put in a little bit of power steering fluid and it won't blow that out. So it would keep that little power steering fluid and it actually would work. And then you could drive and you could feel that it was low, but it worked and it wouldn't blow it all out. But if you filled it up, it would just blow it. Had a 95 Wrangler. Those are fun. Epic. You guys want to see it? I think I got a picture. Hold on. Give me a sec. Oh, yeah. All right, we got to go for a little ride. Oh my God, we are. Oh, I'm going the wrong way here. There we go. Hi. My absolute explosion mess here. Okay, so there it is. Whoops. All right, so that is the van. Can I go to the next one? It won't let me. What? Oh, it went up there. So dumb. Get down here. There she is. Tell me that wasn't just sick. And the back tires were 2 inches wider than the front tires, and it had air shocks, so you could jack the back up. So it's basically you would jack up the air shocks. So if you're going to fill the back with like cargo, then it would bring it down and be level. But the A-Team wing on there, super cool. Had the vents on the back, right? I had to sell it. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. When I moved back to Minnesota, I wasn't really in the ability to keep it. Where is there? Ooh, we got that one too. Hold on. Here's my old VR6. That was before I got hit by the drunk driver. That was a 98 VR6. Thing was a straight tractor. My bro had an 87 Shorty Ford van, 300 inline 6 with a dually rear axle. Ha! Nostalgic memory flood, right? So yeah, this was my 98 Volkswagen. I put the bumpers on there. I had really nice interior. I don't have a picture of that. I do have a picture of that though. Want to see young Kenman? Extreme. That's me. You want to see something funny though right here? Remember cameras had stamps on them? January 24th, 1993. That was me skiing. Anyway, Dude, there's the van. I miss it. I miss it. What the hell? Got some crazy stuff going on here, kid. Yeah, that V-Dub, dude, you should have seen the interior was all leather because it was a limited edition. So it was black and red interior. So the seat was all black. And then the patch up the middle was red. And then it had a black headrest with red VW stitched in. And then where the black was, it had all red stitching. So it was black with red stitching and then red with the black stitching. And then the shifter knob was black with the red stitching, and the steering wheel was black leather coated with the red stitching. It was really cool. And I got hit by a drunk driver. The van was super cool too. The van was scary. People were afraid of it. And it was no windows. You can't open the passenger door from the inside. No seats in the back. VW plaid interiors are cool. I miss those vehicles. Unfortunate. And I got the little red Volkswagen outside though. I'll make that a sleeper one day. Thought about not fixing out the outside. Just let it be the 1990 patinaed, old aged look without rust on it, but aged. And then fill it with that 300 horsepower and don't, and just drive around looking for some Mustangs to beat. That's my kind of vehicle, just a death trap. Death proof. Absolutely death proof. Mallory, wow, I wasn't even born in 93. I'm old, bro. I am old. I used to love skiing. I still love skiing. I don't do it as much, but I back in the day, I was going off of jumps before Dylan was born. Shit. Yeah. Trying to get my buddy to sell me his mint Acura Integra. What year? No, Dylan, you don't have to be sorry. It's just the reality of life, man. I'm what they call getting old. Got some grays right here, but no grays up here, no real receding, and I'm farming it. So the Integra, is it pre-2000 maybe? Gonna get a 5-speed Cherokee next summer. Put a turbo. I'm gonna put a turbo in it. I'm gonna put a turbo in the turbo. It's gonna be turboed. Worried about 25 years and I'll come back, tell me about it. Yeah, 25 years. Goes by fast. Couple of times. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. I want to say it's a 93. See, that'd be dope. That would be dope. I remember that year. It was a good one. Cherokees have the same power to weight ratio as a Miata. Donnie's going to get a Cherokee. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll give you something to look at. Discuss. Discuss. Quiet there, dog. Nope. No mail. Bummer. Thought I was getting something. Let me know when you're a few months from 60, you whippersnapper. What's the input for the puff? '93 Chevy S10 Blazer 4-door. What was your first ride? My first ride was, we're back. We're back. I hit the wrong button. My first ride was not the car you think it was a Dodge Charger. And no father in his right mind should buy a son of my age a Dodge Charger growing up watching Dukes of Hazzard. It was the bad Dodge Charger. It was the Charger the year that they did the hatchbacks. 80. So it's the ugliest Dodge Charger. Oh, there it is. There she is. I mean, right? So I would say I need to find the one with the maroon. I don't see it. Mine was basically like that one, except for it had some maroon down on the bottom. Not terrible. Kind of a fun car, right? There's the back. The old Dodge Charger. Imagine like this, only reversed. So the gray is where the maroon is, the maroon is where the gray was, kind of. Except for I didn't have the hood didn't have a different color to it. It was definitely more like that. Yep, that was my first ride. I think my parents paid less than $500 for it when they got it. And they told me if I wanted to drive it, it's going to run out of gas soon. You got to put the gas in it. I had a job, but it was amazing. Back in that day, you could have a job that paid like $4.25, and you could still.
Laid Off Pete became a member. Laid Off Pete celebrates 12 months of membership. Oh shit. We driving this to Glade Show TX.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wish. I wonder what, I bet you could probably get an old Dodge Charger for cheap. They're, you know, I mean, you're not. No, that was my first car. What's up, Laid Off Pete? How you doing? We were actually talking about you a little bit ago. I had this one out. The green dye that you did. Yeah, that was my first car. It was a decent car. I had that through high school. Then I went to college and I bought a Honda CRX. Ooh, yeah, let me show you that one. Yeah, I'm sure you know. There it is. Classic. And then my second car was that right there. That classic Honda CRX with the white and the red and the gray on the bottom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That one was a jam. Kevin Smith and Nye's first job at 16 made $3.25. My first job was $3.65. $3.65 an hour. And then they jumped it. It was like, I don't know how long I'd been working, but then boom, they jumped it to $4.25. And we were all just ecstatic. We're like, dude, I'm moving from $3.65 an hour to $4.25. And it was nuts because I could put gas in my car. We could go to Blockbuster and rent 2 or 3 movies. and then I could go to Taco Bell and get like 6 tacos, Mexican pizza, and a couple cinnamon twists, and spend like $10 for all of that. Do you know what I mean? First job was lifeguarding. One of my early jobs was lifeguarding too. Wasn't my first. Worked pizza place basically through high school. But started college. I was a lifeguard for a couple of years. That was pretty fun. When I was lifeguarding, I was one of like 5 guys that worked there, and we had like 40 some employees, all girls. Good environment for me. Bought my first house when you made $9.50 an hour. Isn't that wild? That is crazy. Just to think, we got this crap before GTA 6. Who's on for GTA 6? I might have to stream. I might have to start a channel and stream GTA 6. I thought about going and doing it. I've never really streamed gaming. But my GTA 5 online guy right now is stacked. I have everything. We have all the buildings. I have all the cars. All my garages are full. I have the garages set where I have classic cars in one garage and all my supercars in one garage and all my drift cars over here. I have the yacht. I have all the buildings. I have everything. And I have like 150 million in my bank. A lot of people I know that have lots of stuff, they don't have the money. It's like, oh, the new something came out, and then they have to go play a little or buy shark cards and stuff to get a couple million to buy the new stuff. I like to have $150 million in the account, and then I just go out and grind if I want to buy something. I don't want it to be less than 150. It was like, I want it to be 100. I wanted 100 million in the account. If you go buy $1 million, what is it? How much is shark cards these days for GTA 5? I think it's $100 for a few $1 million. So if I got like 100 and some million, several $1,000s if you were to buy it. I don't buy anything. I never buy shark cards. I'm a grinder. I like grinding. I used to speed run it a little bit. I would speed run the Cayo Perico heist for a while. Lifeguarding life was good. Lifeguarding life was good. Old Pontiacs are cool. Indeed. Yeah, I don't game that much these days. When I actually started the channel, I really dropped my gaming. I used to like to speed run some stuff. I would play GTA Online. I'm a big Zelda fan, so like Breath of the Wild, I was speed running that. I played Tears of the Kingdom when it came out. So I do like games, but literally when I started doing the knife channel, I come home, I start working on the knife channel, and I'm kind of doing that. I really rarely game at all. Borderlands 4, more open world now. When does that drop? Or no, when it drops in price. Some of my buddies play Rocket League. They probably still do. I never really did. They've been really hitting it hard. I go over there and you suck. You know, if people that play Rocket League a lot are good, I suck. Full piss shipped, says Ghost Keeper. I don't know if mine had shipped, but I did get the tracking info from Eric, and it said that it was still like warehouse waiting to ship or whatever. So it's probably shipped by end of day today, which is now. Grateful's been playing Skate. I've never really played Skate, but I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty religiously for a while. I was definitely Skater 1 and 2. We used to play that a lot. Nice musky pike thing. Oh, it's that was a prize from an ice fishing trip. That is actually a cribbage board. But I go I go ice fishing in the winter. We go on a trip with some buddies, and we have some prizes like that. We do some little things, you know, biggest fish, best fish, kind of stuff like that. I won the top trophy. I won that one. I won that green or that hunter's hat, and then I won the main trophy last year, and it's a traveling trophy, so it's got a fish on the top. We sign it. We just started it last year, but pretty much next year I'm going to bring it again, and then whoever wins it, I'm going to give it to that person, and then they keep it for a year. Kind of a fun thing to do with your buddies. The knives look great. It's coming along. I like this table. Oh, I'm sorry. Ceiling. I'm liking this table. I've been messing around with it, kind of featured items and stuff like that. Got my top 5 right here. Not the top row. All of those are my top 5. Way more than 5 in my top 5. Shelves looking nice. I think I might need to purge a little bit, but then I think I don't. I haven't done any beer frisbee streams. That's a winter. That's a Grateful Dong. Best knife display on YouTube. I don't know, bud. I appreciate that, though. I do. I really do. I really do. This room's coming together. Got a mess everywhere. I got knives everywhere. It's a little chaos, but it's doing. I appreciate it. Purging isn't healthy, Mallory. Well, because we've talked about it, and it's like you kind of graduate on. I definitely still love doing the fun, projects where I buy like these 2 cheaper Kizers, the budget Kizers, as they're on sale, Porcupine and the Yacht. Excuse me, jeez. God. And so these are fun little project knives, and I can do something with, experiment with, and end up giving them away or whatever later. But I have a lot of knives. I'm looking at 400 plus. I probably need to count them up again. I got to keep that figure. Got to keep this girlish. I look at them all, and it's like, okay, I could carry most of these. But then I look, and it's like, okay, I never carry that. I never really carry that. And that one. I could probably find maybe 5 or 10 on here that I don't really... What's up, G? That I don't really... I love them. They're, I like a collection, but... Sometimes it's like when you start like, oh, and I got another one I want to buy, it's 200, another one I want to buy, it's 200, another one I want to buy, it's like maybe I could get some of these in some hands of some other people that might be interested in it, and then use that to kind of help fund newer knives, more expensive knives, other projects. I sold a knife today, trying to sell one more for a Grail fund. What's the other one you're trying to sell? Guilt as prices go up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm single. I don't have any kids. Paying my bills. It's kind of more for me. But it's also what's in the budget. And sometime, like $700, $800 knives or whatever, if I were to buy that, it's going to knock my budget down for quite a while. Got to keep that knife count down. Grateful I saw that. If you own 1,000 knives, you have to give away 10%. Just like that. If you hit 1,000, you have to stop, drop, take 100 of them and give them away. The TNT Big Bang. G, you are forgiven. Go in peace. And what it's like, space collection. And if I don't have the desire to pick it up as much, I paint. Not really like, well, I mean, I can grab a painting that I've done that's, hold on a sec. Ah. What are we doing today? This is the live. I did this. I used to teach a painting class, and so we would teach to, like, you'd get like 20, 30 people would come in, and they would order some drinks and have some fun, and then this would be up, and then I would step by step teach everyone in the class how to paint this painting. It's kind of a replica of Starry Night. And then on another night, it would be a different painting. Maybe we would do this one. So this is a little sunset painting I did a while back. And so then people would come in, and then we would have this one up. This is mine. I painted this. This is from me. Like I said, I used to teach a painting class. I have a bunch of these. It's not my own painting. There were paintings for the class. And so all these different paintings, it was like, oh, here's the painting. So then there would be a completed one up. And then I had a blank one. And then everyone who sat down also had a blank one. And I'd say, all right, we're going to do the sky first. And I'd say, everyone get some blue. We're going to do this. We're going to do the reds. We're going to do this. Now we're going to come in and put this black over the top. We're going to make these little happy little trees. You look at like the really faded trees way in the background and stuff. So not really my designs, but I went to art. I have a degree in ceramics and painting, and so I did get to work in that field for a while. It was pretty fun. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have a lot of my own. A lot of the paintings I did, I gave away, you know. I missed the Hogue part. The name's Kenman. Damn, Kenman. What Hogue part? What Hogue part? There was a sale. There's a sale of Flytanium right now for all the Hogue scales. Is that what we're talking about? I need a replica of a Mona Lisa. Yeah. I don't do portraits as much. I don't do, you know, I've done it. I do have some life drawings that I used to do. But yeah, I never really did faces too much. Some friends got into like doing caricatures and stuff at like fairs and stuff like that. I never really got into that. I was definitely more of the abstract kind of landscape type paintings and stuff is more my deal. Oh, you confused his knife for a, oh yeah, I see. How did we get on that? Where are we? What are you doing this weekend, Pete? Did you notice, Laid Off Pete, the Midwest Knife Makers Guild show is this weekend in Bloomington? I didn't realize it, wasn't paying attention. Donnie just realized it too, a little too late. He would have probably gotten a table. It's down in south side of Minneapolis. I might try to run down Bob Ross Kenman. I don't know if I even have any more. I have a couple, maybe. There's one. I got one. I found one more. This one's cheesy. Little winter. A lot of the paintings that we taught were like this, where you're like, oh, it's got some fun detail and stuff to it, but ultimately it's actually a pretty easy painting. Because what happens if you only have a 2-hour class and someone comes in, they've never painted before, you don't really have, you can't say, oh, we're going to do this painting where like as a professional it could take 3 hours, 4 hours to do without being interrupted. So someone who doesn't paint, it's never going to happen in 2 hours. So you got to make something where it's got some basic colors. You know, this one was called Winter Cardinal. So it would be like we'd have everyone just do the background, add in some of the snow on the bottom, start firing in some branches. But then you would encourage people to be creative. Like they didn't have to do exactly 3 of the trees like that. They could have put their tree here, or they could start off with their painting this way and do it different. So it was kind of fun, because every once in a while you get someone and say they would use purple instead of blue or something, and so they would end up going completely off book. So it wouldn't always have everyone kind of similar. They'd have their own creative differences, which is really fun. And then people were buying drinks and appetizers too, so it was definitely a fun environment. But ultimately I only got to teach like 2 or 3 classes a week that are only like 2 hours. So like even if I had 3 classes a week, that'd be 6 hours of work. It's not really a full-time job. So it ended up not being a full-time gig, but I loved doing it. It was super fun. Had a couple big parties. There was like a corporate event for a company once where we had like 50 people there, and just I'd play like an 80s playlist in the background. Everyone's just having a good old time and painting. And it's fun because a lot of people that never painted, they're like, oh, they show up and everyone would be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Mine's going to look really bad or whatever. But then at the end, they're like, oh, dude, do you see this? Look what I did. They're like, oh, I love it. And they get all excited about it. And you kind of see someone get some spark from some like they never realized that they were able to do. The river with the trees, it's a fun one. They're all fun. I kind of miss painting, haven't done it in a while. Just another one of those things. I want to do some oil paintings again. These are acrylic. It dries a lot faster, so you can teach somebody a lot quicker. But acrylic is nice because you move the acrylic paint around and then you walk away from it. 2 weeks later, the paint's still wet. So you can then continue to move it around. Fun stuff. All right, so it is Friday. Bees Blades is still not on for an hour. Nobody else is currently live. Did you guys see that Red Bull guy do that drop in on that huge building? It's kind of fun. You know what else? I still have that up, I think. Maybe I don't. I saw a video recently that it was inspiring in an interesting way. I have some ideas for the future of the channel. I gave private lessons as well. I have some ideas for the future of the channel where I'm just trying to, like these vertical lives where I want to do some more projects. I want to kind of do some more things live, a little more interacting where it's like, all right, today we're going to do this one here, and then we'll have a poll. What does everybody, make a note. What does everybody think we should do as far as color? And then everyone will say blue or green or red or whatever, and we'll let everyone decide and kind of do that. What's up, Ron Crow? Ron Crow's got a good channel too. He's got some great stuff going on. Really good guy. You have a live tomorrow, Ron, at like in the early evening or something. I can't remember. I apologize. But I believe Ron does have a live on the 27th. Pretty sure I got the alert for that. They say Red Bull gives you wings. $4 p.m. Eastern Time, live with Ron Crow. Go check it out, everybody. Pretty sure you're a Britney Spears fan pretending to be a heavy metal lover. Well, why can't I be both? Why can't I be both? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But, I mean, yeah, there's no way I couldn't be a heavy metal lover. I mean, you kidding me? You kidding me? I even love the big hair bands. Back in the day, I wasn't as into it, but now I could totally rock some of that old big hair, Poison and Borant and Skid Row and Slaughter and stuff. I totally rock those bands. Rat. You know it. Okay, so what I was getting at is I am looking to do some more things. I want to continue to evolve and have some fun. I had Donnie on a couple of weeks ago. I can't do 80s metal. Ricky was a young boy. Thanks for the shout out. Of course, Ron, anytime, bud. Ron, maybe we should do what I was talking about is one of the other things I want to start doing is more collaboration, like lives or guest lives. Like I had Donnie on a couple of weeks ago. I haven't done that as much, but I would like to do some more lives where I kind of interview some people, talk to some people. Like I could have Ron on and we could talk about knives, customizing, collections, stuff like that. No, okay, I apologize. Let me, hold on. Yeah. JVC, how's it going? Where we talk about knives in here. I'd love to talk about them. And whether or not I have any of those is irrelevant to this channel. Donnie can't do the 80s metal though, huh? Testament. Singing Hit Me Baby One More Time into my hairbrush? I'd probably. Queensryche? Dude. Queensryche. Grateful. Tell me you like Queensryche. I feel like Grateful Dong's on my side with this one here. Donnie, you ever listen to Queensryche? I'm talking old Queensryche. Like when I say Metallica. When I say Metallica, I'm not referring to anything past 1997. Nope. Nope meaning you hate it, or nope meaning you've never listened. Not Queensryche. Does it work when I'm smiling? Because when I'm smiling, you look at my eyes, you can just tell I'm smiling. Mean. This is not from any particular movie. This is painted by me. I aged it, so it was just kind of white. I weathered it and aged it and beat it up just to be unique. Kind of became part of the channel, staple of the channel. My man Jason. Donnie can do Metallica tats in his sleep. Well, maybe the first album says Grateful. Operation Mindcrime, bro. Operation Mindcrime. The one album, bro. That album rips. Looks kind of like the mask from the reboot, sort of. I kind of made it my own. No cut from the axe damage. All the chevrons are there, the kind of the classic red, and then I really beat them up and wore them in. And then I just basically went with a dirty kind of weather damaged, a little blast off of this here and stuff, just to make it unique. What's your favorite Friday the 13th? This is backwards. Part 4, the final chapter. Actually, though, look. I need to get him out and start having him display some knives. I love the whole series. I think part 4 is kind of one of the better. I love watching the third one where he gets his mask. Part 3 has a lot of nostalgia because I watched part 3 a lot. Part 2 I really enjoy because it was the first one that I saw. But I think part 4 is probably my favorite. Good cast, solid movie through and through. In about 8 weeks, I can show my custom Jerry Hossam Damascus Sonoran dog tag. I can't wait, Neil. I bet you can't either. That sounds great. Modern goalie mask wouldn't have the same effect. Exactly. There's something nostalgic about that design. It just works. Weirdly enough, I don't like part 1 that much. Part 1's a little, it's Black Flag, Donnie. Black Flag. Part 1, because it's not Jason. It's kind of the early one. It's kind of slow. She spends like 10 minutes making coffee, like literally. There's good and bad to it. It's a solid movie. It's a good start, but it's not a great one. Punk hardcore kid that only listens to hip hop now. So do you look at Paul Might's Instagram shorts? Paul Might Instagram is like just nothing but hard rap. It sounds good with the pictures and knives. Jason X is my favorite drunk movie. Jason X has got one of the better kills. Definitely. Yeah, that does sound dope. Neil's going to be happy. Newer metal stuff like Vane, FM, Car Bomb are rad. I don't know a lot of newer stuff at all, which is unfortunate. The way music is, there is some new stuff that I probably enjoy, but it's hard to find it, especially when you're old and you're not hip. I used to be hip. I used to be with it. And then they changed what it is. Right? Okay. So yeah, I don't know if Ron, did you reply to that at all? Ron Crow, you still in here? Let me back up through the chat for a second here. I got distracted by that one dude. Anyway, but yeah, I do want to start having some more guests on, have some discussions and some talks. So yeah, Ron, we should, if you're interested, maybe we should get together and do a live sometime. I think it would be fun. I know a lot of people do some collabs and have some guests. I had Donnie on a couple of weeks ago. I've been on with TKE a few times. Yeah, Donnie. Mike's got some. He just got some good stuff. Some stuff I've never heard, but I like it. It's got some good sounds, good beats. Mick Ranger, check your Insta, Ron Crow. Fred the Lug saying hi again to somebody or me. Fred's back. Bad brains and smut peddlers? What? I need some links to some stuff because, man, I am not with it. Ron, I would love to anytime when I'm not at work. Message me. I'll message you sometime soon and kind of work it out. I am the type of person that has way too many things on my plate. I never have enough time. I always get distracted, and I'm trying to do 20 things when I only can really do 1 or 2. But this is a goal of mine, is I want to do some more things, some more different stuff. More of a classic bagpipes guy. Oh, you got a ticket drawn. That's how you got it, Neil? Awesome. What's my favorite TV show? Anyone? What's everyone watching right now? Favorite TV show is kind of a toughie. Because it'd have to be like something. Def Leppard. Oh, yeah. I've seen them. Like, how do you rank? Like, oh, well, I watched Andor. I thought that was good, which is one of the only newer Star Wars shows that's been any good. Knight Rider was good back in the day. Pee-wee's Playhouse, right? Favorite TV show for Dylan is sports. Alien Earth. Yeah. Yeah. Little Doctor Who in the background. I mean, I would say like Breaking Bad was probably one of the greatest shows because you watched the whole series. It was fantastic all the way through. You had episodes where you're standing up. You can watch any episode and just be like, wow, that was incredible. Better Call Saul was good as well. A little slower burn, but it was definitely good. I really enjoyed Fred the Log will do. Fred, you want to do a live with me? Fred, let's do that. Fred's in. I always kind of thought you, Fred, you've kind of preferred the more kind of little private thing, but if you want to do a live sometime, we'll set it up. Peaky Blinders is really good. Too many to say, says Donnie, right? I would say like what I was getting at was Game of Thrones was probably one of the greatest shows that was going on, just the greatest until it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I still watched them all. I still enjoyed it. But those guys really screwed up the last couple of seasons for sure. Because the first 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones was excellent. It was really good. But it really fell apart. But yeah, for those of you that didn't see Andor, forget anything about Star Wars and stuff. You could watch Andor season 1 and season 2 and like watch them in their entirety. Season 2, you watch the first few episodes, you might be like, no, but you get through the whole season and then you see how it was all built and put together, and it's really well done. Anything the Muppets Brand New American is great. Muppet Show, that was classic. I could jam out a Muppet Show. It would probably be enjoyable. They had all the guests on. Do you think everyone who worked on Game of Thrones knew it was trash? At the end, it apparently they did. You could tell. I've seen some videos where they've talked and they've interviewed people long after the fact, and then they would show interviews like when they're getting ready to release the last season and they're being interviewed and people are being asked questions and they were like, they had a hard time selling it because they think they knew that it was Station 11. What the hell, Station 11? A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, MacGyver. No doubt about it. All good stuff, Fred. I loved MacGyver, dude. Back in the day, I thought MacGyver was the jam. The fact that he was just making things out of bubble gum and Q-tips or whatever, it was just cool. Stranger Things. I heard Stranger Things season 4 was good. I watched season 1 and 2 and kind of fell out, and then I heard season 3 wasn't good, and then I heard 4 came back and supposed to kind of bring it all back together. I could probably catch up on that. Mick Ranger worked on Sesame Street? What? Tell. Raised by Wolves was super cool. The Expanse, yeah. I need to finish. I started watching The Expanse and I've been distracted, but that one I think I'd go through. So Mick what? You were a stagehand on Sesame Street? What the? That is wild. Dude, puppets are, dude, Jim Henson, come on. Muppets. But yeah, Sesame Street, huh? Wow. The Expanse has audiobooks. You could listen to them. I've listened to a few audiobooks, and that when you're like on a road trip or something, that can be pretty nice. Can definitely be pretty nice. Expanse on audiobook though, but you should probably better just to watch the show and then listen to it after. You were on One Life. You did One Life to Live, dude. Soap operas are absolutely insane wild. Like the fact that a soap opera could be on 5 days a week and it's like an hour long and it's been on for 40 or 50 or whatever years. Like they can't even make series. It's like like when you watch MacGyver would probably be like 28 to 35 episodes that were an hour long, and that's season 1. And then season 2 comes out the next year, 30 more episodes, an hour long. Anything these days, you get a new series, it's going to be 6 to 8 episodes, and they're 30 to 40 minutes. It's like, how do they never, like, what happened to a good 20 plus episode season? Now you barely will get to 10. And then it takes 2 years to get the next one. They really have messed up. Need more good writers in the world. That's what I think. You got too many people that became writers that shouldn't be writers. And then those people are now fighting for better wages, but they aren't good at writing. And they're expecting to be paid to write, but they don't write well. I feel like writing is a at-will type of a job. You don't have a job. You wrote something. Do they want to use it? They take it. Now you have to write something else that they want to use. You know what I mean? Sopranos, yeah. That was good. Mary J. He was on the show for a few months. What show? Not, and you're not talking about The Sopranos? Wasn't he on the Sopranos for seasons? Guess it's been a while. The Sopranos, yeah, wasn't he on? He was on One Life to Live. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I feel like he was on more than one season of The Sopranos. Star says hi. What's up, Star? He played a mob guy in One Life. I mean, he has that perfect look for it. My power went out right at the finale. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, dang Ross? Yeah, movies though? What's the more recent movies? Anyone watch any good movies that have knives in them? I like knives. We're getting ramped up to Halloween season, holiday season, the horror movies. I love the horror movies. I want to start doing some screenings of some horror movies and talking about them and stuff. Might end up doing it on Discord or something like that, so that we could actually screen movies and chat about it and just cause a ruckus while we do it. That's cool that he was a good guy though, Nick. Well, I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. Got to meet quite a few actors, musicians. Worked for a few, and it's pretty fun. Meet some nice people. Some of them can be really cool. Some of them can be eh. Living in LA though, it's interesting how that works. It's like, because you would, like, I met Snoop on the street, you know, like just happened to boom. Sometimes you just meet people at Target. Accountant 2 came out recently. Had a few knife scenes. Accountant 2. I don't know if I remember Accountant 1. Paul Mills, any new knives lately? So the newest knives that I have got and own that are mine of recent are scattered about. Grateful Dong sent me this. This is the egress, the concept egress. I'm going to do a custom to it. Not sure what yet. Obviously just dye some color. But this one's been around. It's the sequel to The Accountant. I don't think I've seen The Accountant. So got the egress recently. Grateful Dong also sent me the Sencut Draxor. This was black and gray, and I did a dye on the live the other day, and we did it in red. So we have the custom KDK black and red Draxor from Sencut. I think that turned out great. Another one I got recently is the Send Cut Awasi. Really nice hollow grind on there. Big old beast. The Awasi looks a lot like a penguin, except bigger. So you got that kind of penguin style, but check out the penguin compared to it. Look at how much smaller the penguin is. Very similar shape, but definitely the Awasi is a beast. Miss working as a stagehand. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be pretty fun. Definitely pretty fun. Got this one from Fred a couple of weeks ago. I still got to send Fred some money. Been buying too much stuff. Fred, I got money coming for you. This is the Remet Meteor. This is a button actuated bolster lock. So you can open it with the bolt and close it with the bolster lock. You can use that button lock or the bolster lock. So you have access to both of them. Button lock works great. Nice front flipper. M390 titanium and that carbon fiber. The Remet Meteor. Boom. Very snappy. What else is pretty new? This one I've had for a couple of weeks. The CJRB Bolt.
Fed Harrison became a member. Fed Harrison celebrates 3 months of membership. Sup Dan and everyone. Much love to everyone. Hashtag bup crossed swords emoji.
My man Fed, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. Thank you for 3 months at the gas station level. Much appreciated, my man Fed. Can't wait. Hope to see you in Atlanta again next year, bud. We had a really good time, no doubt about it. Got a CJRB with the shark lock, bar lock, kind of cool. Oh, did you get the other one with the swooping blade? Because that's what this one is it's got that crossbar lock, but it also has got the recoil lock to it. So you can hit that recoil lock or you can hit the crossbar. My man Ed. Good to see you, Fed. What do you got going on this weekend? Anything fun? I got some videos to make. My nephew's got some games I'm going to go hang out at. The Midwest Knife Makers Guild show is tomorrow that I might try to go to. I don't know if I'll be able to have time to do both. This is the exact one, the Bolt. Very nice. I like it. This is a bug out killer all day. The nice choke up spot on there, AR RPM 9. Crossbar works really well. Thumb studs, flicks out. It's a fun knife. I dig it. Nice little prize for sure. New. These are on loan from Rosecraft. This is the Rosecraft F3 fixed blade. Hello from New Zealand, or hello New Zealand. What's up, Gypsy? So this is the F3 fixed blade from Rosecraft, Swag's design. Pretty fun one. They've got some cool fixed blades out. The other one that Rosecraft sent, pass around. This is the F4. Big old beast. I like those yellow accents. You really want to do some bushcrafting and some spine whacking. This might be the one to do. I do have an F1, but I've had it for a while. There's that Rosecraft F1. Nice little choke up spots on there. Feels really good. I have several knives on the way. I guess I've had this one a while, but this is my new current favorite. The Vanex titanium and camo carbon or glow carbon stout V2 with the lefty bolster lock. I love this. Very happy about that. Haven't had the Chupacabra for very long. This is my first tactile Chupacabra. I like it's got that extra click. It's right here, listen. I dig that. Tactile Chupacabra has a magnet cut on there. I want to do a laser mark on that handle. Some type of cool, scratchy Chupacabra-y. Chupacabra-y? Kind of a thing. Got a couple from Fred. Right now, they aren't mine. This is the Bag Knives crap. That's not what it's called. Kind of a nice little Bag Knives, though. Ah, jeez. Flipper tab only. This KB. I don't remember the name of this one either, Fred. Oops, I almost missed that. Boom. Nice little KB. And what's over here? This is the one I just reviewed today. This is from Kevin Smith and Knives, the Riot GXR or GTR. Look at this integral. Look at this is the craziest integral. These cuts, the little cuts on the back that go all the way through. You've got this dish that's scooped in and then milled out inside there. That's not an insert, that's a piece that's on the inside. That is one of the craziest milling kind of a integral. It's just wild how well that was done. Got that Zerk insert on there, this big round black piece. Action is fantastic. Yep, nothing else too new. This one here is another one from Rosecraft. This is the MA12 or 11, 12. Button actuated only, so you can't pull that blade out. You have to push the button, swing it up, swing it closed. Kind of a weird design, but it's a beast. Super big handle. I like that. What's up, Ground Fog? What you getting into this weekend, bro? All right. What did Mick get? What did I miss? Oh, your Orlock's in your mailbox? Boo! I mean, good for you. Mine's not going to be here till Monday. Boo! Orlock is sick, dude. Orlock is so nice. I highly recommend. I'll show you. This is the one I ordered. Boom. Knife is rad. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. Look at that Orlock. Which one did you get? I had to get the black wash one. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. You got the plain Jane. It took everyone by surprise, laid off Pete, including Terry. He didn't even know it. He posted the link. He's like, well, I guess it's up. I guess they're for sale. We've been waiting on this one, though. I've been super excited about it. You want get one of the rocked ones? Like this one, Pete. I like that. It's cool looking. Definitely cool. I don't know. This one's a little funky. Kind of like it, but yeah. The plain one would be nice though. Just that plain titanium is nice looking. But something about Concept's black wash that they do, and it's just got all the little edges kind of knocked down a little bit. You can see that little bit of white like around the edges and stuff. I just love it. I don't really prefer a black coated blade either. I really don't. But something about Concept that just I handled this exact one and I liked it. And I do have this egress that Grateful just sent me, and it's also from Concept, and it's that same black wash. So if you look, see like this edge right here where it's definitely, you can see that kind of white line. And if you look on this edge, there's kind of a little white knockdown area, and it just looks kind of weathered a little bit. And I do enjoy that. Ultimately, I just prefer, my favorite would be something like this. Like, I think the ultimate would just be an acid etch, stone washed, matte kind of finish like that. I dig that quite a bit. But it also depends on the blade, the knife, whatever. It depends. Yeah, they don't need to tell, right? Yeah, Dylan will know. He's had a lot of releases. But generally they know, like they're just like, yeah, it's going to be coming out. You would think though, they're like, they would at least email the actual designer and be like, oh, yeah, it's going to be on the 26th or whatever. I'd have gotten the blue rock pattern if the blade was stonewash or satin. Yeah, the Damascus. I have some Damascus. Do I have this one right here? The Super Hawk's got that Damascus from Concept. I don't mind it. I need to cut this off. This big bad boy. I don't mind it all that much, but in most cases, I'd rather take that S35 VN or 154 or whatever. The Super Hawk's a beast. But yeah, I'm not getting my Orlock. I checked today and it said delivery Monday, which is sad face. Which means I could get it tomorrow, but chances are that they're usually pretty accurate. I'll more than likely get it on Monday. And then I ordered the Tri-Stash as well in Piss Ultim. So that one will probably be here early next week. I have a couple knives from Rosecraft for the pass around that should be here in about a week or less. I backed NAFs, has a couple of Kickstarters that are done now, but one of them was the Lander 5. I backed that, so I have 2 Lander 5s that I'll be getting in October. I also backed the OTF, or OCT, the Old College Try. There's another one from NAFs. That one won't, it's a little button lock, but it won't be out until probably February. B option. We've all been waiting on the Orlock forever. I remember seeing it in Texas in February. It was Blade Show Texas was the end of February or the beginning of March. Might have been the first week of March, but either way, it was right around there. And they had an Orlock there, and it was like, oh my God, this is great. I love it. I want it. So then when we went to Blade Show Atlanta in the summer, I went right to Concept. I'm like, got the Orlocks? We got an Orlock? And they're like, nope, not yet. And I'm like, oh, but it was literally one of the first knives I went over to see if they had. And they said not available, not ready yet. And then it basically just a few days ago popped and is now, so probably 6-7 months after we saw it the first time. It's now finally here. Congrats to Terry. Cool design. I look forward to it. I haven't been able to touch it since in Blade Show Texas. Easy din this evening. Making beer cheese sauce for pasta with hot Italian sausage. You and your bro, Donnie? You feeding other people? I usually just feed myself. What's up, Brian? Brian Kerr. The Midwest Knife Makers Guild show is tomorrow. Wish we'd paid attention. We could have set up a get together. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Donnie's whatever he's cooking sounds delicious. Just you two? Yeah, at least there's a couple people. It's I don't know. Cooking for myself sometimes it makes me less desired to put as much effort into it. Yeah. Yeah. What are you up to this weekend, Brian? Whisker Forge. You guys haven't seen my fork in action yet. It's a pretty rad one, though. And I'll get to your laser marks pretty soon, Brian. Trying to get through a few things, and I'm slow. But I'm ordering a anodizing setup, so I should have that in the next couple of days, and then I really am going to be able to. Then I just need to buy a laser, and then I've got everything in-house. I just take one from work, but they're all full. You know, each laser at work is double the size of these cabinets, if not larger. Who's anoing the Kubi? What did you give me? Oh, we're gonna like heat. What was it though? Was it titanium though? If only there was a CNC. Shit. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot, Brian. I was like, what the hell? This one. And this is titanium. Well, I haven't been able to anodize anything at work lately. It's really put me on a full standstill. So I have opted to just buy a station, and I'm going to be doing it on my own. So we're going to be anodizing this for Brian. And then we also have this. We have some plans for a laser mark with this one here. Well, Paul, I've been really slow on getting projects done. No, Brian, I knew exactly where they were, and I knew I had two knives, but for some reason I couldn't remember that it was, that one was titanium. My brain was just shut off, you know what I mean? But I am actively ordering an anodizing setup, which would be here this weekend, if not the beginning of next week, and then I can really get going back on track. Sorry. I hope you switch to keyed barrel spacers. So yeah, Paul, at some point we'll do it, for sure. For sure. If you get what? What's Donnie going to get so he can do that? CNC? Oh yeah, if there's only a CNC in your garage, he's talking to Donnie. All right. Whisker Forge. Guys, yeah, we should have planned on going to the Midwest Knife Makers Guild. We could have all met up tomorrow. We need to be more. I need to be more proactive on finding events and knowing them. We had a good time when we all went to the Badger show. Neil, I don't even know how anyone would make them without a mill or a water jet. Very carefully. Yeah, we dropped the ball on that, didn't we? We didn't even, I mean, honestly, Donnie messaged me this morning and he was like, bro, I'm pissed. Photo. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? And it was a photo of like the sign up for like getting a table at the show. And I was like, oh, he missed getting a table. Well, we can still go to the show. And then I looked and it's like the dates. It's like, today and tomorrow. I'm like, shoot. I got family stuff I was planning on tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down there or not. I'd like to. There isn't going to be much for retailers, but there is. It's all a bunch of knife makers, custom makers like Donnie is. So it's a good place. It's a good spot. It's fun. They did open for tables until June. Like that's. They didn't open the table spot. So it's like, oh, we have tables available in a couple of months. It's like, bro, let me know now for next year. Right? Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was probably in the Blade magazine too, and I probably didn't see it because that was the one. I went to the Midwest Knife Makers Guild show last year and met up with Iowa AK, and it was fun. And that's where I bought the Sheriff. Where's the Sheriff? That's where I bought the Sheriff. Oh my God, Dan, what are you doing? Did I catch the tip? No. It literally hit like this. My God. Right there. Little scuff. Man, I am dropper. I got the Sheriff there last year. Little piece of 154 CM. Nice full tang. Micarta handle with this tiny little blade. But your thumb gets right in there. Boom. Paper. Are you seeing that? It's like making spaghetti. That's how sharp this bad boy is. It's wild. I've never sharpened it. And this guy got that thing to a mirror. Look at that mirror edge. I've literally cut paper a million times with this, and it's still just sharp as can be. Yeah, you go check out that show, Grateful. There'll still be some stuff. Brian's putting out trail cams and stuff for hunting. Right on. I hope you get a good one this year. The old Sheriff. I love this little thing. Such a cool little small little knife. And the fact that that edge just holds. 154. Grateful. Isn't this super cool, dude? If anything, the handle could be thicker, but it fits good. It fits just fine. It just locked in. Bing, bing. You're stuck in there. Never much around here. Shows. Yeah, there's just Midwest. It's amazing for the Midwest, for as many people that like hunt and camp and fish and stuff around here, there would be more shows, but it's just not as common. Tell me why. I don't know. Right. Bees. is on in 15 minutes. So we'll be done before that. Nobody else has really been live tonight. I always try to pay attention to everyone's lives. We're all family. So going live when someone else is live. I mean, these little mixes, you know, if someone popped on live, this isn't, I mean, I guess I usually do go on live on Fridays at this time consistently, but, you know, like I have a consistent Thursday night live. So that, or like I don't go live Tuesday night because I know Tri-State's live Tuesday night or whatever. And I know Bees is going live in a little bit. And if MC was already live now, I'd already be done and we'd be heading over there. I'll try to give support to everyone around here. Go check out all the channels. A bunch of good stuff. All good people that we know of, right? I don't know about that Donnie. Just kidding, bud. Yeah, having fun. I'll be going live tomorrow morning. Donnie, you still skate? I don't skate. I have a board. I don't skate. Last time I skated, I ollied up on a curb. I ollied off. I stepped off my board like this. I was like, and I rolled my ankle. I didn't even fall over, but I rolled my ankle and I was like, dude, I am just old and decrepit at this point. Old BMXer that got into skating. I'm a skater that got into skiing. You can still kickflip. Do a kickflip! Right? I want to copy and paste this right now because I think if you haven't seen this yet, it might be worth checking out. Bob's Pocket Knives. Anybody ever watch any of Bob's stuff? All right. Boom, boom. I'm about to put a link up. MC is going to go live in 90 minutes. All right, good to know. Thank you for that heads up. I am going to go ahead and pin this for a little bit. I'll be done in a little anyway, but I just pinned up into the chat. Bob's Pocket Knives. This is a video from Bob. Great guy. I met him in Atlanta, hung out for a little bit, had a good chat with him. He posted this video that I just did the link for, but this video it's got some inspiration to it, no doubt. World's best CJRB Pyrite collection. This is his 1,000 subscriber special. He has a lot of pyrites. Hold on a second. Let me back this up. There they are. I want to, at some point, sit and have a discussion. Fred the Lugs is skier. Fred, let's go skiing. Casey, the Knives Fast channel. What's going on, Casey? Everybody go subscribe, check out Casey. I bet you all already do. I was just blowing up Bob's Pocket Knives right now. I just posted a link up on top. I saw this video of his recently. We skiing. Let's go, Neil. I'm in. I'm so in. So, I don't know. He's got about close to 100 pyrites. And I just thought it would be a fun discussion. I talked to Bob. We're going to probably do a live at some point. He's working on a setup right now. But the topic of like collections and how collectors collect and what you see. What's up, Ramsey Silent? And just the fact that someone who loves knives can get into like, oh, I love the pyrite. And so all of a sudden you get another pyrite. And then you get another one. Or someone who loves like this sheepdog, like a Kizer sheepdog. I know some people that have like 40 sheepdogs. And I just think it's interesting how sometimes someone will get something that they love, you know, like a Kizer Towser K. And then you get another Kizer Towser K. And then you get another Kizer Towser K. You know, and just how collections work and how people fall in love with certain knives and just stuff like that. But Bob has some good videos. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, I'm always trying to blow up smaller channels and stuff. But Bob Bob's Pocket Knives. There's a link up there to watch his Pyrite collection. Super cool, dude. That's how inspired he was by the Pyrite itself, that he goes and picks himself up. I mean, I don't know how many that is, but that's a lot. Those are all of his Pyrites. Tell me that's not cool. I just fell in love with Kenman. Laid off Pete. Sheepdog collector. If it's a warnie or a sheep's foot, it already has a 100% better chance of being in the pocket. What's not cool? Tell me that's not cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Towser K. Awesome knife. Awesome stuff. Plus, Bob carries around this little mini screwdriver. I carry around this. I've had this little Rough Rider one that I use as a little pry bar. I use it once in a while. Yeah, if you handle a Towser K, you instantly get it. You're like, and yes. Currently have 4 Towser Ks. But I'm not, you know, they'd have to make a cool one that'd give me a reason. Like if they just made a Towser K, like there's an Ultim Towser K and it was on sale. I didn't buy one. Could have bought one, but I didn't. They could make like a cool Halloween Towser K and I wouldn't necessarily be predisposed to buy it. You know what I mean? I think Bob, without being negative in any way, but I think Bob, where he's at, when you get to that point, you know, then it's like, well, wait, if any new Pyrite comes out, is it kind of on the list to pick up? I love the detent on it as well. Laid off Pete. I prefer the liner lock though. I like this one. I can just go like this, drop it to my thumb, and then swing it around and it just drops shut. And then you get this just little click in. KC, you're not a bad person. I'm literally about to be done. I was watching, I'm paying attention because Bees goes on at 7:15. So I was literally going to jump off before that. But everyone, before you go to Bees, KC is going to go live in a couple minutes. I'm going to be done in a couple minutes. So you leave here, go check out KC, hang out with him for a little bit, and then go hang out with Bees or do whatever you're going to do for the night. Dan, the Demco man. I have one. I did get the titanium scales for it. My 80 20.5. I kind of did a battle worn copper or bronze, not copper, kind of bronzed anno. I would love a premium version, but this is nice. What's going on? Let's Flip Knives. Dan, make a Halloween themed knife sometime. Orange and black. Something creepy. I bought this one last Halloween. Bob did tell me in a TikTok live that he's a bit autistic. He thinks the completionist collector approach he has is influenced by that. And that, like I said, I wasn't trying, when I said it before, I was like, I'm not trying to talk bad about Bob or anything like that, but I feel like once you get to a certain point, you know, like then it's like, well, I already have like 70 of them. So now they have a new one. You're like, well, I guess there's a new one. I might as well grab it, you know, like throw it in there, you know. Ron Crow has an Ultim Towser K. The other Towser, what is it? The Towser R? Is that right? I want one of those. Wheezy had one, but they're not really for sale. They're discontinued. But the other Towser is cool. I do like it. All right. Well, everyone, go check out Bob. Go check out MPG. Who else was in here tonight? Ron Crow. Obviously, our big buddy KC with the Knives Fast channel. The Towser S. Thank you, Late Off Pete. If anyone ever has a line on a Towser S, let me know. Let me know. I'd be interested. Ramses, have a great night. Thanks for all the thumbs. Have a good time doing what you do. Stay awesome. I'll probably be live tomorrow morning before TKE. I usually go live around 8:15 for some coffee on Saturday morning. So we'll see you all there. Maybe see you over in KC's live or in B's or whatever. Keep on keeping on. Stay happy. Talk to your friends. Give out all the good love. Stay sharp. Be safe out there. Have a great weekend. You too, Fed. And yeah, stay sharp. If you ever see any cool new knives that are out there, let me know about it. Tell me about it. Get a hold of me on Instagram. KDK in 4K. Yeah, good stuff. Take care of y'all. 3-hour vertical live here. How do we even do it? I have a lot of projects that we're going to do. Grateful, my man. I owe you big. What a stud. Oh, Grateful. I did get the huge pot that huge the planter and the base or whatever. I got that. So I'll message you. We can talk about shipping it out to you or whatever. All right. Stay sharp, y'all. We'll see you soon.